Welcome to Lockbeard Random Live number 23, Matrix Milt. Little early, I know. The late ones aren't very tired that late at night. And we got a couple of shows of the Squatch variety coming up here in a couple hours, so those will be running for a while. And who knows, if I'm feeling up to it, maybe we'll do another random live later tonight. We'll see. But so far we just got Barry Browning in there. Welcome to the chat, man. Throwing up some signs. So I thought today we'd take a look at the new Matrix trailer. Oh, now I see YouTube throwing notification up that we're live. So YouTube's not very good with their stuff, but at least it came up. Gonna add the trailer up here. There we go. How you doing, Barry? Do you watch Matrix movies? Judy's here. Welcome. A lot of people felt that the second and third one were going too far. That they were best to leave it alone after the first one. A lot of movies, it's like that. They make a pretty good movie, and then they make sequels and mess it up. Like the Tremors series, for example. I liked the first Tremors movie. It was kind of a goofy, kind of horror type movie, but I still liked it. I typically don't like goofy horror movies, but this wasn't like any other. And it seemed to have some an interesting creature that they tried to rub some science on it, and then in the second one it wasn't too bad. They were trying to make it into the larval form, but there were some problems with that. And then the third one's things just got crazy, just stupid. After that, it was just ridiculous. Every movie they made after the third one. Usually they're better off leaving it alone at the first movie. Like the original Predator movie, the original Alien movie, all those. Barry says he's good. Judy says, that means a friend like Lockbeard, I have so much to share with you. You mean on Facebook? Sure. I don't get on Facebook too often because Facebook sucks and Zuckerberg sucks, and I do have an account over there. I just don't do much on it. I don't like logging in because usually it seems to bog down the computer every time I log in, and I can sense the CIA satellites linking up, because that whole thing is an operation government uses to spy on us. Barry says, I didn't even know there was a second and third. I need to watch them. Yeah, in the case of the Matrix movies, I don't think they really ruined it. a little slow at parts. Um, and then we didn't have a Matrix movie. After the third one, we thought that the story was truly concluded. Like, they could have left it off at the first movie and everything would have been okay. You know? Um, there wasn't really a need for a second and third one. So, I don't know. It was a pretty decent conclusion with the third one. If they wanted to extend it, I don't know if it was necessary, but they did it. So all these years later, what are they doing making a fourth one? What do they intend to accomplish? I mean, if there is some greatness to the writing, maybe we'll see. But usually, it's when you have a situation like this, it's always just it's a ho hum movie, pretty crappy writing, nothing spectacular, and obviously milking the franchise. They don't have the imagination to come up with something new and fresh. They can't start new franchises anymore. They just don't. They don't have the talent, I don't guess, in Hollywood anymore. All they can do is make a sequel to something that came before, or try to do a remake. It's just Hollywood's lost their touch. And of course, they stick a bunch of politics and everything and really make it bad. I share my thoughts and synopsis with all my friends on Facebook. Cool. It's okay. Who gives a shirt? Even if I can reach through Messenger. So much incredible stuff I need to share with everyone. Barry says that's one of the reasons I quit TV and movies. You're correct. Yeah. Pretty much in June 2019, I started boycotting all movies. I made one exception in that time. Now, a lot of people might think, well, that doesn't sound like a big sacrifice. But for context, I hadn't had a TV in years, and I was a weekly moviegoer. I didn't watch TV at all. I just saw movies every week, and then internet stuff. And then the movies just kept getting worse and worse, and so finally I said that's enough. I'm just not watching any more movies. I made the one exception for they made a third Bill and Ted movie. Another example of a franchise they should have just left the hell alone. The second Bill and Ted movie, many would argue, did not do the first one justice. But what it did do is come to a pretty neat conclusion. The guys show up at the end, they jam out hard, and you think, okay, they have gotten on the path that they're supposed to be on. This is the end of the story. And yet, here, all these years later, somebody decides to make a third movie. And those little babies that were called Little Bill and Little Ted, well, apparently they weren't little boys. They were little girls. At least they were changed to be little girls. I'm pretty sure in Bill and Ted 2, at the end, we were fully supposed to take that, and it was fully meant to be 2 baby boys. But, as you know, Hollywood keeps trying to get rid of men. They think that they're somehow doing women a favor by replacing male characters with females instead of writing good female characters. And there are some. But for some reason, they're not happy with the strong female characters of the past. Like Aliens I mentioned a while ago. Ripley. She was badass. And still motherly and feminine. But somehow they aren't satisfied with that. It's just it's a ridiculous agenda they got. So yeah, the new Bill and Ted movie was very ho hum. The writing wasn't great. Apparently, the guys never fulfilled their destiny. It looked like they had in the second movie, but they totally just dropped that entire thing and made it look like they did nothing with their lives. And now they need their little girls, their daughters, to save everything. This is what Hollywood keeps doing. They're trying to destroy the male characters as much as they can get away with. I bet if they thought they could get away with just killing off Bill and Ted and letting the daughters be the ones that are the actual ones that save the world with music, they would have done that. But I have a feeling they knew that would be going too far. That would really piss off the fans. Judy says, I said exactly that today. No TV or cable. Yeah. Judy says, Barry, I think we're friends on Facebook already, right? Barry says, yes, we are, Judy, as of about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, if you sent me a friend request, Judy, I'll accept you. Judy says, women have been discredited since Mary. Yeah. I mean, look at the MCU. Black Widow was a good, strong female character, but she was too sexy. I think they don't like they didn't like that aspect of her, and they killed her off in Endgame. And or was it Endgame they killed her off, or it was yeah, it was in Endgame. They didn't like her. And then now they want to have a prequel movie about her and wonder why it didn't do very good. Well, it's because people are like, well, shit, you killed her off, and you're pissing off the fans. They should have done if they wanted to do a movie that focused on her, they should have done it before Endgame and possibly before the Infinity War. Uncle Bones, hello, welcome. Hope you like what I share. I can't spell. Send a friend request to you. You're not found. Oh, well, if you're looking at me by the name of Lockbeard, you won't find me. My real name is Earl Salisbury. Yeah, I don't have an account under the name of Lockbeard on Facebook. Generally trying to keep, all that separate from the Lockbeard stuff. Usually I just use Facebook to communicate with old friends and family. And then that's only sometimes I only log on once a month to Facebook, but I'll get on there and try and find you, or if you have a friend request there, I'll accept it. But I like I said, I don't log in very often, so just be aware of that. So why don't we watch the trailer? I don't know if y'all have seen the trailer yet, but here we go.
Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Have we met? One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
And if you go chasing rabbits,
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to fly me.
and you know you're going to fall.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
When the logic and proportion have fallen far behind, and the light is walking backwards, and the red queens are overhead. Remember what the dog said. Feed your head. Feed your
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
Well, if you haven't seen the second and third movie, it's probably not that meaningful to you. Let's see here. Where'd I leave off? Yeah, I'll try and find you. Yeah. I had an account a long time ago that had to be completely shut down. It's that little situation I mentioned before when the feds showed up. It was a bad situation. Bad deal. I'd probably be somewhere way the hell different now if it wasn't for all that nonsense. Harry says, I do, Judy. I'm a binge Facebooker. I try to stay off of it, but I get on from time to time. It was so ironic when Facebook started their crap. I get off for almost 9 months, but no one quit with me. Better Bounty says, everybody got on Facebook and complained about Facebook. I didn't and don't get it, but maybe I'm not supposed to. Uncle Bones, are you not familiar with all that? The Wachowskis were men, and they have changed all that. They have become women. So, yeah, it's their business. Yeah, most people think so, Judy. That most people think they should have just left it alone at the end of the first Matrix movie, and maybe they should have. So that's why I called this Matrix milking, because I think they're just trying to milk the franchise for some more money. Now Wachowski may actually care about the story, telling the story, but likely no one else involved does. They just care about how much money they're going to be able to make off of the Matrix name. They don't care about you. Yeah. Uncle Bone says, why would both brothers at the same time do the change? Well, they didn't do it at exactly the same time, but but they did both do it. Yeah, very strange. And that's here. Hey, we just watched the new Matrix 4 trailer and discussing why it's probably going to suck. Hello, hello. I don't know. I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of the movie. I've heard a lot of rumors. But things like because why is he in the Matrix and believes he's in the Matrix again? What's up with that? Now, or someone's telling him he's in the Matrix. He's taking the blue pills and stuff, some kind of medication for psychosis of some kind. I've heard rumor that Trinity is like they neither one of them knows who they are, but they seem to have a connection. But anyway, the Trinity is supposed to end up being the one in this one. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that rumor. I've heard rumor that this is like a prequel instead of a sequel, in that the Matrix was originally. This is the rumor, sort of. I'm probably going to get it wrong, but that Thomas Anderson, the programmer, was the original creator of the Matrix, and this is him. This is him. But I don't know that. It just don't make any sense. I thought that the war was over. He had solved the problem. He'd made his sacrifice. It doesn't make any damn sense what I'm seeing here. Someone somewhere said that Trinity is actually married to someone else in this movie. So, that sucks that they would do that to Neo in this story. But, because if you remember when he finally talked to the architect, and the architect was talking to Neo about how the previous incarnations of the One were designed to have a profound connection to their species. They're supposed to love their people, and that drives them. But he, this time, had his profound connection was actually with Trinity. So it changed his decisions and what he ended up doing. Yeah, it may. I don't know. I mean, so I don't want to judge just yet. I will probably break the boycott to watch the movie, as long as they don't try to make me wear a face muzzle in the theater. If they do that, I'm going to leave the building cussing, is what I'm going to do. But considering, like, in the beginning, like there was some pretty heavy reading assigned to the actors who wanted to be part of the Matrix. Like simulation and simulacra. That's not a light read, and the actors were required to read that and some other stuff as well. So it makes me think that it's possible. I mean, there's two things: either the Wachowskis they're just that crazy, and that they have that big of an ego, and like, you need to do all this stuff, you want to be part of our film, or they're pretty passionate about the message they're trying to send. So we'll see. But so Lana, Wachowski may be about telling her story, continuing their story for her, but I really doubt that the studio cares about anything but how much money they can make and what kind of political messaging they can sneak in there. Aotearoa Cryptids says they are definitely milking that cash cow, but they took a groundbreaking original movie and then completely went off the reservation for the sequels, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. They totally could have left it at the end of the first one. You know, he made his phone call and he had realized he was the one. He had conquered death and resurrected. They could have left it there and the story was effectively completed. The second and third ones, I think, were a reasonably decent continuation of the story with a conclusion that surpassed the first movie. I think it did. But how necessary was it to do that? You know, or was it just about more money making the second and third movie, or did the Wachowskis truly have more to say? It seems like they had more to say, but I think the world would have been just fine with just one Matrix movie. Too often they think you need sequels, and you really don't in every case. Especially when a movie is started out, when they first wrote it, like they wrote it, they weren't thinking about sequels. They were just thinking about writing a movie. If you write your movies with the next 5 movies in mind, and you already have an outline for those arcs, you know, because you need to have a coherent story arc that spans all of the movies while still being able to come to a reasonable conclusion to each individual movie. Sometimes they leave a movie as a cliffhanger, and in my opinion, they should never leave a movie as a cliffhanger. That you can do that in a TV series, but for movies, no. And they pretty much did that with Matrix 2. I mean, the last scene is of, I forget the guy's name, but he's possessed by Agent Smith on the table there. That was left as a cliffhanger, and they shouldn't have done that. That to me was, if they did that on purpose, that was a bad decision. If they couldn't figure out a way to resolve the movie without making it a cliffhanger, that they're bad writers. Judy says, "Oh, it's pure insanity now that the world can't do anything without showing you've been stuck." Yeah, it's insane. Uncle Bone says must be a prequel. Yeah, I've heard it. The rumor that that's what it actually is. That he's playing Mr. Anderson, the programmer who originally created the Matrix. So this is set in the past. I don't know if that's true though. There's a lot of rumors floating around, and I haven't really had time to try and sort it out and figure out who's got the best sources, and because you have leaks, and sometimes the leaks are wrong, sometimes they're correct. I don't know. All I know is what we're seeing in the trailer doesn't make any sense unless unless it's a prequel or part of the system of control was making the people believe they were getting out of the Matrix, but they really weren't. So when they pop out, when they exit the Matrix into the real, what they called the real world in the movie, that was just another layer of the Matrix. So they were still in the dream. Kind of like in a lot of shows where you see someone, they're dreaming and they wake up from a dream, but they were dreaming that they woke up from a dream or were actually still dreaming. Kind of like that situation. Cryptid says, I just didn't buy into the whole Zion must fall storyline. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously a lot of biblical references in the Matrix movies. So, I don't know exactly what the point was. I mean, if they feel like, it could almost be like, and of course they didn't say this in the movies, but that it was a breeding program. Every time they go through the process, all the most rebellious people, the people that are least likely to accept a dream world, the ones that are most likely to wake up from it, are the ones that are coming out. And so you're removing those genetics. So it's almost like a selective breeding program. Now, they never said that in the movie. That was just a thought I had about what could be an explanation for why they must let this go on every single time, and then they must exterminate everyone in Zion to eliminate the genes, the rebellious genes in those people. So I don't know. It could be what they mean, but they didn't say that. So I think they're just going for some mystical stuff and trying to make simulated reality, virtual reality seem like it really matters. Because I kind of wonder sometimes if there is a plan or an idea that somebody in power has that eventually they'll be able to master virtual reality and slowly but surely ease humanity into it and get them used to doing it on a regular basis as an escape, kind of like in that movie Ready Player One, where everybody they were accustomed to it all the time. It was their only escape from reality, which sucked. And then one day they do a little programming change, and everybody thinks they're still popping out into the real world, but they're not. They're in the program, and they are just in a pod somewhere or sitting in their little seat somewhere, and they stay there until they die, and use it to execute everybody, basically. Everybody they don't need. Did everybody that's left, if they find out what happened, say, well, there was some kind of glitch or something, or maybe there's not enough of them to complain, or maybe they don't leave anybody to survive. Maybe it's a time that they're looking forward to where all the labor that they need us for now can be done by robots. Judy says, well, they had more to say and embedded it in the other sequels. Yeah, they did. I mean, it was, I don't know. I wasn't extremely unhappy with the sequels. I feel like they did a lot better with the sequels of The Matrix than they did in other franchises. Other franchises just completely butchered stuff, but this wasn't bad. But now they're doing, after all these years of doing a number 4, I don't expect great things. I do not expect great things. Agent Smith. That would make sense, but we'll have to watch to know for sure. Yeah. You like the hypothesis that this just maybe shows up in certain people? Cryptid says, isn't Elon's Neuralink the first step towards that reality? It'll definitely help. Once everybody is fitted with a brain-computer interface of some kind, not necessarily Neuralink, but some kind of brain-computer interface, we open ourselves up to all kinds of potential evils. It could be a very good thing, but as our government has shown over and over and over again, they use every technology to harm humanity in some way. That's just what they do. And so many people still haven't figured it out. Government is almost always pure evil. You know, you need some kind of government to protect you from other evil governments, but do we have to accept an evil government of our own? You know, I don't know. It's part of the intellectual exercise of micronational stuff that you've heard me talk about a little bit. I don't know if I've really explained what all that is. It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like a project in exploring potential government systems, different forms of government. I mean, they follow some of the same governments that exist, but you know, what is the potential? You know, like in my case, it's a monarchy. So a lot of people have it in their head that a monarchy is evil, but that's because they're in a system like ours, which, from my perspective, is evil because it allows corrupt and evil people to infiltrate it very, very quickly. Because all they got to do is get elected, right? They just got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get that power. And you can't do that in a monarchy. You have to be born into the monarchy. So corruption can't just enter into the monarchy. It has to arise within it if it's going to happen, and it has a built-in safety against that because the people know that a monarch is for life. And the only way they're going to get rid of a prick who's a monarch, someone's beheading everybody, the only way they're going to get rid of him is if they delete his ass. So the people don't become complacent like they do in our system where they say, well, this guy sucks, but we can vote another guy in 4 years. And then things never get better, right? People become complacent and they don't act when they should to. Sometimes leaders are bad enough that they need to be deleted. But our system is brilliantly set up to make it where people hardly ever do that to a leader in our system because they think they can get another one. And most people don't seem to figure out that every single one of these guys that are up there asking for your vote work for the same group of evil corporations and super wealthy individuals who actually run the show. With the monarchy, you won't have that, at least not as easily. And the monarch knows too. He knows. He's like, look, if I act the fool, these people are going to want to delete my ass really bad because they have no way out other than to delete my ass. And that's good. That's good. Now, what you want is someone who's born and raised to lead. He's trained from birth to lead. And he has a true love and connection to his people. And a lot of times that's what you get. But in our system, No, it's not there. These people aren't truly trained from birth. You're not told from a very young age that you don't have a choice. You must serve as leader. It's what you were born and bred to do. And that's part of what's best. That's part of what's better about a monarchy than our system. Is a person doesn't choose to become a leader. They must become a leader. It is thrust upon them. You get a better result than with a system like ours, where everyone who becomes a leader is someone who sought it out. They desired power for some reason. Sometimes you have someone who wants it for good, but I would say most of the time they just thirst for power. Tesla bot, yeah, robots. Hobbs, welcome. Judy says, brain computer interface. Oh my, the government is evil all the way through. Yeah. There are such great things we could do with a BCI, but you just can't trust our current government under that scenario. They now have a computer link to your brain. They could potentially figure out a way to just shut you down. Render you unconscious, program you to walk right into a camp, into a gas chamber, or just delete you on the spot. You just drop dead right there. I mean, this is not safe. Not with this government, who have proven themselves corrupt, who have murdered millions. We just can't do it. We can't trust it. So you won't see me getting any kind of BCI. Certainly no kind of injections. I haven't taken any kind of jab like that for decades now. And if we could keep going down this 1940s Germany bullshit road that we're on, and we certainly took a step in that direction further yesterday when Biden got on that stage. If we keep going down this path, eventually they're going to say that people who refuse the jab are a threat to everybody or dangerous. I mean, look at what Biden said yesterday. He said this is a pandemic of the non-vaccinated. He is dehumanizing us, just like 1940s Germany leader. I'm not sure I can get away with saying his name, just like he did for the Jews. Dehumanize them. Made people think these people are evil and horrible and we have to deal with them. And that's what he's doing to the non-vaccinated people right now. We're the new ones on that list. And pretty soon, if it keeps on going, if we don't take a stronger stand against this, they're going to start rounding people up. They're going to say we're putting you in some kind of isolation or quarantine or whatever. It's a concentration camp. They'll force injections upon you. We must stop this. This government, by going as far as it has proven itself absolute evil, anti-liberty, scumbag trash that must be removed entirely and thrown in jail. They are not the legit government of this land. Now, they may not like what I'm saying. It's too damn bad. They can't change what I think. They don't got that BCI installed in my head to reprogram my ass. Because I'm sure they'll figure out a way. They're criminals. And they should all be arrested. Any of them that have any honor who have taken part in this should resign right now and turn themselves in to be for arrest. You know, that's what we prefer, right? A peaceful change in who is occupying these offices. The ones who are trying to stand up, the governors of many of these states, including my own, who are saying we will not tolerate this attempt by Biden to violate the rights of the people. We will stand for freedom. Those governors are under threat by Biden because what he said yesterday, he said he will use his presidential power to remove that threat. So is he saying he's going to remove our lawfully elected leaders of our states? That's what I'm hearing. That's what it sounds like. Go back and watch that speech. Look at the things he said. We're in deep trouble, and people don't realize how deep yet, but many of them will start to realize. Barry says, think about this. If the V does kill you after 3 to 5 years, there has to be a major push for full before they start croaking. I don't know if that's true. I've heard that thing going around, but a lot of people, every time they get this injection, they get sick and still don't figure it out. They still aren't figuring it out. Judy says, Barry, good observation. Yes, I believe that's what's happening. Tom says, I'm in the UK. We are stuck with our monarchy. Although you did end up with Biden, at least he'll be gone soon. Yeah, but your monarchy's been stripped of power. Well, supposedly. You could say that maybe that's just an act because they figured out that having a constitutional republic of some kind, acting like it's actually in control, but actually serving the monarchs above them, it is a safeguard against the things I was telling you about monarchy earlier. I'm talking about honest monarchy. My micronation, founded in 2005, called the Eternus Empire. I would be that monarch. Is an honest monarchy, where I stand before the people without some not cowardly hiding behind another form of government that keeps you guys from realizing who's really running the government. It is me, and I am to be held accountable for my actions by you. So if I start beheading people, you guys know who's to blame. In America, most people don't know who's really to blame. There's people behind the scenes pulling the strings, rich, powerful pricks that don't answer to nobody, weren't elected by nobody. Biden is not really running the country. I'm not even sure that guy can run his own ass-wiping operation after he takes his shit at this point. That's a little harsh, but actually, if you all watch Louder with Crowder, he put together a little. He does things through comedy, but he had this montage of different clips of Biden, and they're all where Biden's saying, "I was told to do this," and they tell me, and it's all indications that where he's let slip that he's not actually in control of anything that he's doing. He's just doing what he's told, and he's let it slip over and over and over again. And people aren't catching on. Most people aren't. Judy says, power has always been the main agenda since day one, and under cover control, we've been sold out to the ultimate powers. Yes. I don't know how we get out of it, though. You know, that's the thing. How do we get out of it? We're sitting here, we're raising hell. They're probably going to push until things turn violent, and then you have a big war. But they have technologies of unspeakable power, so it doesn't matter how big your arsenal is at home. When they can drone you, they can drone strike you if you're too much of a problem, or they could gas the entire area. Or they could cut off your food supply. You know, if you can't find any food in town, You know, even if you can hunt, eventually that's going to be a problem, because what if they're out looking for you? You're trying to hide on your property, but that's not a very good hiding place because they know where you are. And that's why I've said in the past, I think the only way out of this situation is for a really big asteroid to hit the planet and smack our asses back into the Stone Age and annihilate 99.9% of humanity in the process. But and I don't know how else we get out of it. Now the micronational plan that I have for the Eternus Empire is a slow, gradual change, and it's still risky. Like, if enough people declare themselves citizens of the Eternus Empire in various countries and start making too much stink, right? And they form parties that are pro join the Eternus Empire in each of these nations, the existing parties will get pissed and they will come kill me. That's just reality. If they see my joke micronation start to become something real, they will kill me. So I'm always looking for the signs, ready to dip into the mountains, you know. But you know, who knows? So I almost don't want that to happen. But so that'd be a really risky proposition. Would that work? Would a slow, gradual, and then parties in these nations form and vote in leaders who sign an agreement to become part of a new union, basically, in the Eternus Empire? You know, would that work? I kind of think it wouldn't. I kind of think we're doomed. We can't get. There's no way out. I hope that's not true. But things are looking very, very bad. Hobbes says, how do unvaxxed people become a threat to the jab? Surely they're not jabbed in the first place. Yeah. Well, that's what he said. We, the unjabbed, are the plague now. He has declared us, he has dehumanized us as a disease. Does it sound familiar? Does it sound just a little bit like 1940s Germany? We have become the disease. I'm doing just fine out here. Bring your dang beer bug. Bring it. I will defeat it with ease. Now, I can say that pretty certainly because I'm pretty damn certain the damn thing doesn't exist at all. And I've explained why I say that in the past. Whether people go and they actually look at some of the things I'm talking about and say, okay, wait a minute. This can't be a fact if this thing is real. But the facts are there. Inconvenient as they are for the people that believe they have had the beer bug because they were told, because the doctor gave them a test, and the doctor doesn't know what that test really is. I mean, he just knows he was given it and told to administer it, and then when it says positive, they have it, except he's not told that the test does not actually test for the virus specifically. It looks for indicators that could be attributed to many different things. Other diseases, some kind of immune system challenge, radiation. Like, say you're in a building with this number, G. You're being exposed to harmful radiation. Look into it. Which means your body's having to respond to it, which means you're going to show some of the indicators which they can use to say you have this thing. Yeah, Barry, I think it is. You don't think they have? I mean, right now it appears like they don't, but I kind of wonder if that's just what we're meant to believe. Like the United States, we're meant to believe that our ancestors during the Revolution defeated the monarchy and won their independence. But what if certain people, certain elements involved in all that just made an agreement with the monarchy, saying, "Look, we'll just sit here and play like we beat you, so the people are satisfied, and let them think they're free. Meanwhile, we'll just figure out ways to milk them. Like eventually they came up with the income tax, a way to enslave someone who thinks they are free. The master keeping a cut of your output. That's what it is. You willingly march into work and accept paying income tax, slave tax. We never ended slavery. We just figured out a way to enslave everyone and have them willingly walk into the cotton field and slave away and pay master his cut. Put the country ownership to New York. Cool. I've never told this to a ton of years. Not sure what you're saying there. I better catch up in this here chat, huh? Well, Judy, thanks for sharing that. Judy says, Barry, everyone involved has passed away, of course. What can they do to me now? Nothing. Yeah. Mr. Lee's here. Welcome. Barry Browning says, laughing my butt up. My dad was a Mason and was thoroughly disappointed when I turned down the invite. I'm still not sure, because I hear a lot of people making these claims about Masons, but I have not been convinced just yet. Doesn't mean that there isn't something really going on. 3 of my 4 grandparents were Masons. A buddy of mine who is a really good guy and has helped me tremendously in the past. His father was a Mason, and he chose here several years back to go ahead and become a Mason himself. There's no indication there that there's any kind of these problems that people say. That doesn't mean that the people, because he's like a 33rd degree, that the people at that level are just not told that there's levels above. I concede that that's a possibility, but I haven't seen any evidence of that yet. I haven't. But if anyone's got it now, don't come at me with just claims, though. People make all these claims. It's like the flat earthers. They come at me with these claims, and none of their supposed scientific proofs are actually proof. Every single one of them have been debunked over and over again. You can just look around online, actually do the experiments yourself that you can do, make the observations yourself. It completely falls apart very, very easily. But there's so many people out there that want badly to believe it. It's easy to get a following. So I don't know. Sometimes I want to tackle it more, and other times I'm like, it's just a complete waste of time, because they're basing their belief on zero actual evidence. They think they got actual evidence, but that's their problem. They don't know what actually constitutes evidence. Let's see. Judy says, my mother's entire family was in hiding. It sucks that had to happen to them. Mr. Lee says, I'm all good. Hope everything is well. Where is that beam of sunlight coming from? I don't know. The Matrix trailer looks wicked. Yeah. Well, we're trying to make sense of it. I'm of the feeling that it's going to turn out to be poor writing and an obvious cash grab, totally unnecessary addition to it. And as I told everyone else earlier, I may go ahead and break my boycott to go see it in the theater, unless they try to make me wear a face muzzle. That shit's not going to happen. So I might not watch it as a result of that. Barry says, I didn't realize how much of a playa Mr. Lee was, not hating Mr. Lee, just observing. Judy says, AKA Russia met Poland on a freedom ship to New York. Mr. Lee says, are we talking about Queenie again? There's been a little talk about Queenie, yes. Judy says, which income tax is a slave tax? All income tax is a slave tax. When you work, you should get all of your money that you earn. You earn that money, not the government. Now, I get it that they have to have revenue to run the government on, but they're just taking in way more than what they should and wasting so much. They're stealing from the people. So, the question is, and this is a question for the micronational end of things for me, it's an important question. How does the government function? How do you maintain a defensive military and perform all government functions without a revenue of some kind? And one thing that I would never ever be on board with is a slave tax, an income tax. So at this point, my thinking is that, let's say a few nations let's say enough people declared themselves citizens of the Eternus Empire one day and voted in leaders that signed the agreement to join the Eternus Empire. So now these nations are part of the Eternus Empire. Those nations would pay a tax directly to the empire, right? Just like you do with the UN or any other union, the nation must pay in to run the UN. It doesn't run on nothing. It needs revenue. So those nations would pay in directly. Nothing comes from an individual citizen like it does in the U.S. You pay federal tax in the U.S. That's ridiculous. You shouldn't be paying tax directly to the federal government. That should be an agreement between the state. That should be between the state government, your nation state government, and your union government. And then the state can decide how it generates the revenue, between it and the citizens. So that way, the citizens, if they have a problem, they don't got to take on the entire federal government, or in my case, the entire imperial government, if they're not happy with the way they're being taxed. They just got to take on their national government, their particular nation, and get their nation to change how they're going about it. So if they are using an income tax, they stop. Maybe they go to just a sales tax or something. I would strongly advise them not to do an income tax because it is effective slavery. I would also strongly advise them not to do a property tax, because property tax effectively takes away your right to own land. You end up just paying rent to the government, because if you don't pay your property tax, they come take your land and they show you who actually owns it. Well, I want the people to actually be able to own their land. And if you want to, because you're a free person, or you should be, if you want to, you buy a piece of land, and you could, if you got 1,000 acres, you could go and live off that 1,000 acres. Your family could live there for 500 years without ever coming off of it, and you never have to worry. You don't have to be part of the economy at all if you don't want to. That should be your right and your choice. But the way they got it now, you got to pay income tax. They only accept U.S. dollars. So that means you got to go and work a job and earn U.S. dollars, or sell something off your land to earn U.S. dollars and then pay your income tax. Of course, if you're earning money, now they want income tax too. So you got to pay that. And you get sucked into the system. They have taken away your right to own land in that process. And you've taken away your freedom entirely because you've become a slave, even if you don't fully realize it. Hobbes says, yes, I worded it badly. Should have said in my lifetime. Yeah. Judy says, look up my grandfather's life up in chat. Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Barry says, my personality doesn't fit in well with groups like that. I will say when he passed, they showed up with Cash Soprano style. It was impressive. What do you mean they showed up with Cash Soprano style? Were they trying to get you to join? Like they're trying to pay you to join? Or were they just giving you what belonged to him or something? Or what's the deal there? Uncle Bone says, name please. Judy says, my grandfather was a Russian Cossack. I seen him in a picture sitting in full regalia, sitting in on a white horse. Mr. Lee's going to go watch The Matrix 4. Haven't seen anything at the movie since Prometheus. Yeah, Prometheus, what an abysmal disappointment that was. At least for me, you might have liked it. Some people liked it, but I feel like they were well into destroying the franchise by the time they got to Prometheus, especially in Resurrection. Oh man, they should not have done Resurrection. Judy says to Bones, I could cry. My grandfather's name is Alexander Shane. Judy says last name could be a false name. Could never study because of his background. Barry says people can't fathom how much money they take from us in taxes, taking it from cancer. There shouldn't be a pothole in the whole country. Instead, it gets used to fund stuff so technologically advanced it's unfathomable as well, and technologies that they're using against you. Let me know when you're all ready to join the Empire, by the way. But like I said, that's a scary proposition to me. If it were to somehow take off one day, they would try to kill me. I'm certain of it. Bone says, thank you, Judy. I will search and read about your family. Cusacks are a fine people. Judy says, Hobbs, my poor family back in those horrible days. Hobbs says to Mr. Lee, check out a Yuki movie called The Host or on Shudder. I think I might have seen it. Barry says, in an envelope, no, it was a gift for the family. We didn't need it, but we weren't turning it down either. Maybe you should have joined to kind of take a look-see behind the curtain and see what's up. Judy says, Bones, bless you. I've never spoke a word to anyone about my mama's family. Mr. Lee says, Hobbs, yeah, I've seen it. Didn't like it much. Hereditary. I didn't want to see Hereditary based on the freaking trailers, man. I can't look at that little girl. That's something about it's just. Plus, it's some kind of weird horror kind of stuff, and it just doesn't attract me. Hobbs says, Lockbeard, I agree on Prometheus. Why would any race leave clues as to where to find an ammunition cache? Yeah. They should have left it alone at, was it Aliens 3, I guess, the prison one where she dies and kills the last queen, supposedly the last queen. They should have ended it there. But here comes Resurrection. And how the hell? Now, see, I like scientific plausibility in my sci-fi where I can get it. And there seemed to be some level of that up until that point. You know, it seems reasonable, like something that could happen, a species from another planet somewhere that could exist. But then in Resurrection, Alien Resurrection, they clone her, and somehow the clone is pre-infected with the alien queen inside her, and both her and the alien queen had some DNA from the other. I mean, it's getting retarded. Like, if you got tapeworms and they clone you, there's not going to be tapeworms in the clone. There's just not. So, and the ridiculousness just got worse with Covenant and Prometheus. And oh, you like the gore stuff? See, you'd agree with my brother. He's a big into the gore stuff, and he does like Mask and stuff like that. Actually, you'll see a link to his Etsy store. He sells some of his stuff, some movie props and Halloween stuff, and on his Etsy store. It's in the description of all my videos except for the last few, but it's in the description. Actually, I'll probably just go ahead and show you some pictures here in a second. But he likes doing special, zombie type stuff, gunshot wounds, all that kind of stuff. He does all that stuff, that gore, and he's worked on some a little bit of movie stuff. But Judy says, grandfather died young on the operating table from a simple operation. My family was terrified at that point in time. Saw Hereditary, enjoyed it. Pretty bleak though. DNA, yeah. Daniel Lundy, welcome. Says, I really didn't like that they couldn't figure out a way to keep her alive on all the movies. I hated the clone thing. Yeah, that was stupid. Don't get me wrong. I've talked about before the potential for actual some form of memory inherited from previous generations. There are mechanisms for memory to be transferred from one person to another naturally, epigenetics, and through the water and stuff like that. But that movie was just ridiculous. They weren't doing that. They were doing some other weird shit. So, Daniel, saw you telling your story, by the way. Very cool. Very cool indeed. I am going to bring up, let's start with Chemtrail Carl. It's a latex Halloween mask. Hold on a second. Let me get this to work. Just a second, y'all. There you go. Yeah, that's one of the masks that my brother has made. It's $220. So if anyone wants a really unique Halloween mask, boom. Oh, you're welcome, Daniel. Sasquatch Wizard and Darnex. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody had a great week. It was good enough. I wish I'd get that call on that job, though. I wish it would come. So yeah, let me go through the other pictures of this mask. Yeah, that's the gross side. That's the gross side of Chemtrail Carl. He also does these like a dragon fetus in a jar and a demon fetus in a jar. Here's the dragon fetus. and make sure that's showing to y'all. Which he sells those for $38. And he can do them in different colors. So they're all those different colors he can make them in. He doesn't have a lot produced at the moment, but if someone orders them, and he can get them, he can start making them. Hobbs says, Lockbeard, have you seen the special edition of Alien 3? There is a whole subplot regarding the Welsh guy and the dragon. No, I haven't seen the special edition, I don't think. Yeah, my brother, he is Macabre. His business is called Macabre Inside Studios, and he's trying to get into making, doing this kind of stuff for movies. And he's done a little bit of stuff, but he's trying to get into doing this kind of stuff for movies. Thanks, Mr. Lee. Thanks, Sasquatch Wizard. And Judy asks, does anyone here do their DNA test? It shows it all, but left out any Denisovan DNA. Very suspicious indeed. And where are they really looking for? They're not telling anyone who's really going. Why? Well, I don't know what you're saying there. I don't know. Like with the Denisovans, look, here's what I think is the deal with the Denisovans. They were just a race of people, and they just kind of got blended into the rest of us, just like the Neanderthals. They were just a race of people that kind of got absorbed into what is now Europeans for the most part. They're not a separate species. They can't be a separate species if they got absorbed into us, like we now know that they did. So yeah. Thanks, Hobbs. Daniel says, I could clear out my whole neighborhood with that mask, and I need a loudspeaker with dino screams. That's pretty cool. Impressed. Thanks, Mr. Lee. Brandy's here, saying hello to everyone. Bone says hello to Brandy. Queen of the chat has arrived. Brandy, I did a in brief. The third in brief today involved your lantern flies. Sasquatch Wizard says, guys, I'm driving, can't type, but great to see all of you. You too. Yeah. So let me grab the next one here. That was the dragon fetus. So here is, it's a little harder to see of this one, but here's a demon fetus in a jar. Boom. Brandy says, I saw a comment, I also messaged you. That was awesome. Yeah. Those things are add to all the freaking introduced species that haunt my dreams. Mr. Lee, thanks a lot, Brandy. Mr. Lee says, Brandy, did you watch Lockbeard's video? Yeah, she did. Yeah. Yep. I think there's another angle on this demon fetus in a jar. That one's also $38 if anyone is looking to buy one. It's on his Etsy store, and the link is in the description to most of my older videos. The last several, it's not. I gotta get in and add that whole section in later, but it'll eventually be in the description of all videos. It's just scroll down. It's down below the section for the music somewhere in there. But you'll find it. It's in the description of the videos. Not the Macarena. The Macarena video. Who said that? We will get that video. No, there will be no. Macarena offends the empire. Brandy says yes, but with a twist. It's going to be hilarious. Take the red pill, people. Take the red pill. No, don't take the red pill. No, the steak is better. Steak. If you take the red pill, you end up eating slime. That is the takeaway from Matrix. You don't want to take the red pill. You don't want to take the red pill. I don't think. Maybe you do. I better watch what, Brandy? Brandy says you better watch that. You better watch that, Lockbeard. Blue is my favorite color. Yep, take the blue pill. You want the red pill, Mr. Lee? Yeah, but ever since Mr. Anderson took the red pill, things got entirely too crazy, and he ended up getting blown away and having to fight everybody. And you better not watch. I said. Oh, so somebody else, I thought you were suggesting that I was going to do a Macarena video. Judy says Joe's going to send me a Sasquatch t-shirt. Awesome. So there's his Grim Reaper Halloween mask. It's $115. Probably pretty hefty for a lot of people for Halloween, but you know, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's all he's got on his Etsy store really right now. You know, especially lately with the beer bug and all that stuff has really messed up everything. So, business hasn't been doing great. Yeah. He's been into this forever. Back when we were in high school, he was even doing stuff like this. You know how you have a Halloween carnival at your high school, and you'll have one class, they're like got this mock jail set up, and people can buy a ticket to throw you in jail for 10 minutes or something like that. And anyway, his teacher that was over them, she was like a drama teacher or whatever. She decided to make use of his talents, and they turned their classroom into a haunted house. So my brother went to work, and so they had stuff that I think some of these people weren't even prepared for. Like there was a severed. He had this was something he had, a motorized hand, but he had modified it so it had bones and flesh and stuff where it had been cut off and it was crawling, and he had one of his classmates made up on a table, and it looked like she had been cut in half, and there were guts coming out everywhere. He might be able to, I'm not sure, what all, just depends on what it is. What are you looking for? I'll tell him, but, ask him if it's something he can do. Hey, your son loves dressing up for stuff that you can't find for Halloween. Yeah. Well, I mean, most people are stuck with the standard Walmart selection, right? But I mean, as you can see, like the chemtrail Carl mask is a $220 mask. This one here is what was it, 115. You know, so they're not cheap, but you know, if you're used to Walmart prices, have to admit that one. Mr. Lee says, "How many brothers do you have, Lockbeard?" I have an older half brother and 4 younger brothers, full brothers. And there's a rumor that I have twin sisters running around somewhere from some other person. I don't know if that's true, though. Yeah, 4 younger brothers, full brothers. We weren't raised with my older half brother, so I mean, we don't keep in regular communication at all. So, yeah. Brandy says, "Yeah, I'm hoping to do the video tonight. We shall see. Definitely by tomorrow." Mr. Lee says, "Brandy, you have brothers too, right?" She says, "Yep, 3 older. I have 4 sisters and a brother, Mr. Lee." Mr. Lee has 4 sisters and a brother. Big family. Pretty big family. For today, anyway. 150 years ago, small family. But today, big family. Hobbs says, "Going to hit the bug pit, sleep and dream well. Wonderful people. Lockbeard, by the way, I am an FE, but always ready to listen to opinions of others." Yeah, I know. We've been getting quite a few flat earthers in here sometimes. They be coming at me hard. Coming in hot. Randy says, "Hobbs, take care." Hobbs, over and out. Yeah. Thank God you don't have sisters. Yeah. Yeah. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost guess that maybe we did have sisters, but when we were too young to remember, we killed them all, and our parents just never told us. It's called Macabre Inside Studios. Look in one of my older videos. It's in the description, along with a link to his Etsy store. No offense to any ladies. Yeah. Well, you know, girls are an entirely different thing to raise. Parents who only had boys can't imagine the things they got to deal with if they got girls, and parents that only have girls can't imagine the things they got to deal with if they got boys. If anyone has any illusion that boys and girls aren't 2 separate animals, they don't have kids. And all have passed, and I have 1 little brother. I brought it up to him before that one of these days we should do a fake Bigfoot encounter using his skills and not to be used as a hoax, but to demonstrate how easy it can be to make a video that looks totally like it's the real thing, and because people are too ready to believe a lot of these videos they see, and then of course a lot of them come back and they find out that they were a hoax, but people need to be skeptical of of every single video, because I guarantee you, if me and him made a video of a Bigfoot encounter, a fake one, so many people would be just ready to believe it. But of course, I would immediately tell people, if I did that and showed it, I would tell people, say, look, this is fake, and then show them how he faked it. Let them meet the actor in costume, and as he's getting the costume applied. However, this costume would cost $4,000 to $5,000 to do. It's not a cheap thing to do. Mr. Lee says, Brandy, I love my sisters. One is in Australia. I only see her once a year. My brother is a year older than me, and we are identical, but he got the brains. You're welcome, Uncle Bones. The only daughter left. Spell check. Randy says, I love my two sisters-in-law until they ruined my brothers. Yeah. That's getting to be a more and more common story out there. You know, not that men aren't often totally at fault for the problems in their relationships, but there are so many people out there acting like it's always the men's fault, and it's not. Sometimes it's the women's fault. Sometimes they both have some blame. But, you know, yeah. Lost all your sisters. Your brothers are ruined. And Ned, are you there? She was here. I'm so sorry to hear that, Judy. I'm sure if you had been blessed with biological sisters, I would love. If I had been blessed with biological sisters, I would love them. There was a guy in the last town I lived in. He built a business. The business was named by his last name. You know, I won't give the last name, but it was his last name, Electric. I'll say that much. And he ended up getting a divorce, and his wife now owns the business that is named by his last name. She got the business. So he had to start a new one, and for that one he used his first name to name the business. But you know, what kind of world are we living in where you know, he's the electrician. Now she may have played a role, but why did she get the entire business? You know, I mean, I don't know all the details behind who got what. Maybe it was the case that he got the house and she got the business, but the business is named after him, and he's the electrician. What kind of sense does this make? And I don't know exactly who is at fault for what, but still, I don't know about that. Just found out his wife of 12 years actually loved his best friend. Oh, man. Randy, you are a sweetheart. Thank you. Oh, that makes the heart break. Yeah. If there's kids involved, that's just makes it 10 times worse. Brandy says, my oldest brother is now okay, but that wife was evil. My brothers are good men that believe in taking care of the women and protecting. They were put up on pedestals and took advantage. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's turned out to be a long day. So what else is going on out there? I don't really know that I have anything more to say about the Matrix movie. We're not going to stay on here too horribly long. um, because Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group channel, the show name Sasquatch Speaks, is coming on in about 40 minutes. So we'll be quitting just before then. But just to let y'all know. Judy says, never want to be put on a pedestal ever. Yeah. It's hard to determine what's the formula, right? What's the proper formula to make those kinds of things work out right? You know, and I kind of think that part of the I know it is. Part of the problem is modern society. Modern society takes us out in nature. It disrupts the entire family structure, the tribal structure. I mean, most people can't say I'm a member of a certain tribe and we run in these lands over here and that's our hunting grounds, and we migrate to this place once a year, and none of that happens. Most people have no tribe, and they live in a box, and they don't live off the land. They live out of a grocery store and takeout. All of these things add up to psychological dysfunction, which is going to prevent relationships from functioning very well. Yeah, probably so in a lot of cases. Probably so. I mean, I think so. It's just too much of a risk anymore for a lot of us out here. It's the reason why MGTOW exists. That's MGTOW, men going their own way. They're men who have adopted the idea that they are never going to marry and not get into any relationships. They're going to live the life that they want to live, and have decided they don't need to be in a permanent relationship with a woman to be happy with their lives. And it's growing. There's a lot of female supporters of the MGTOW movement as well, because they see it. They understand that there's a lot of bullshit that men have to deal with these days from some women. And, it's making a normal man half crazy sometimes. How do you deal with this scenario that you shouldn't be dealing with? Some years back, it was the middle of January. My clothing had all been yanked out of the closet and thrown into the yard. And shit was being thrown around the house. I mean, she gone nuts. I was trying to calm her down. Her teenage daughter, who really didn't care for me, because she just didn't like the idea. I'm not her dad, she was actually trying to talk her down, her own mother down. She's like, you do this, you always do this. And it wasn't working. She had been drinking. And I think I've kind of told this story before. Basically what it turned out to be is that she wanted me to be physical with her. And I would always try to de-escalate the situation, and it just seemed to make her madder. She wanted me to hit her, and I just couldn't. I can't do that. And so I grabbed my shit and I left. She wants me gone, fine. I mean, I can't live in such chaotic circumstances. My home should be a place of peace, where I don't dread to go to, where there isn't going to be this craziness. I don't need the crazy, and you know, so Judy's taking off. Somehow I got jumped around here. Here we go. Sasquatch Wizard says, any suggestions as it pertains to technique for tonight's mission into the Andirondack Mountains? I'm suited up in all gear and headed in solo. What would you like to see me try out there? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just see what you can see, and if you film anything, that'd be cool. Ideally, bring back some kind of sample. Find a body, some blood, hair, something, you know, some kind of physical sample. It's really what I'm looking for myself. So we'll see you later, Judy. Bone says, hey, Lockbeard, Grim Reaper mask is all gone now. Will you tell if it is all gone now? We'll tell you if it fits. Oh, did you buy it? Well, thanks for buying it, man. Said I think he only had one. I mean, he can make more, but thanks for buying it, man. He will be thrilled. Mr. Lee says, what? Sasquatch Wizard Irondax is on a mission? Right on. Yeah, he's on a mission. See you soon or later, probably. Short trip tonight, Mr. Lee, but up by 3 a.m. and back into a new area. Wizard, only advice I ever give, I go out and have fun. Judy says, Brandy, see you later, hun. Godspeed, vibrational love. Good night, Judy. Hunting or squatching? Brandy says, there should be no reason for crazy. Two adults in relationships should be able to communicate in a mature manner without bullshit games. Yeah, but after, when it was all said and done, two of her friends who had kind of become friends to me, not real close or anything, but they both separately kind of told me that, you know, her father was physical with her, you know, hit her and stuff, and that she was in fact trying to get me to be the same, like trying to piss me off enough and push my buttons to make me hit her. And it's just not something that I have in me, I guess. My reaction to that stuff is to try and de-escalate, and if that don't work, to evacuate. Just go, you know. Yeah, find a body. Uncle Bone says, see you soon, Judy. Maybe we'll see her later tonight on Sasquatch Speaks or on Squatch Talk at 8 Central Time, whatever time it is where you're at. Found a body. Code word is ice cream. Judy Wither says, y'all are dear friends to me, and I've shared much more than I ever have. There's nothing anyone can do to me at this point. Excellent, Judy. I hope that gives you freedom. Sasquatch Wizard, Lockbeard, I'll do my best. If I do find a body, will you come help me drag it out? Sure. You're kind of far away, though. I don't know. You know, you might need to find someone closer, because by the time I get up there, it'd be half rotten, I think. Judy says, the bones. I hope you can find anything about my grandfather. He says, yeah, I got it for my nephew. Oh, awesome, Bones. I hope he likes it. Mr. Lee, I'm searching for sign of Sasquatch and seeking contact. Judy Wheeler, was he in New York in 1940? Very sweet, and I better not ever witness anyone messing with anyone here. I don't react well to mistreatment of others. Randy, I won't forget that. Open your mind, Sasquatch Wizard. Says thanks. Jeff Harding is a good dude to talk to about all this. Also, Joe Snyder is in New York. Judy says, wait, Mama was born in 1929, Queens, New York. Mr. Lee says, call Lockbeard for Sasquatch body removals. Yeah, I'll just throw it over my shoulder and walk it out. Brandy says, Wizards, spend some time just using your senses. Leave the tech off. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to solve the problem of the tech. If the technology is the issue, how do you film without electricity? Remotely, like you're not there. You know, is there some way to do like a wind up watch kind of scenario? You wind it up and walk away and it's filming. And then if you're doing that, do you now have a problem of sound that they can hear? Or is there a problem still of the smell? Can they still detect it by smell? Ask their permission, Brandy says. Brandy says, call me crazy, but seriously, ask permission. Don't call her crazy now. We saw in the movie Hancock that it can be dangerous to call a woman crazy. She might hit you with a truck. Sasquatch Wizard says, thanks, Brandy. Actually, I'm leaving tech in the truck in research area 2, but tonight I'm headed into research area 3 with full tech. Judy always asks for permission, she says. Yep. What time is it? 6:30? We'll go a little bit longer. Brandy said, if I showed you a video of me filming the backwoods side by side with another video of the same backwoods, only I'm singing, you'd be surprised. So you think you're getting activity because they're attracted to the singing? Mr. Lee says, Sasquatch Wizard and Iron Decks, can you explain how you go about your investigations? Suiting up with full electromagnetic concealment suit. Cool. Hopefully that works. Brandy says, yes, they love music. Doubt it's my voice. Well, maybe it is. Hex. So Sasquatch Wizard is using a hex. Sounds like magic. Yeah, it sounds official. He does call himself a wizard, doesn't he? Of course he's going to cast a hex. Mr. Lee says, I've heard about these suits. Good luck, fella. Yep, good luck, man. Hopefully you find something. I really don't know, what to suggest. I mean, I've never gone out in the woods to actually search for them because I consider it a lost cause. For the most part, like all these other thousands of people have tried and no one's gotten anywhere, and they all got better equipment than I do. Which I have a cell phone. You know, that's not going to get good video at all. So add to that of all the years and all the time in the woods and in the mountains, I have never seen one myself that I'm sure that what I saw, you know. I just don't see that, you know, investing in cameras and all that stuff at this point, maybe in the future, would be a good use of my time. Now, I mean, of course, I don't have much money to work with right now, so, you know, it's just, I just don't do it. I mean, I'm in the woods, you know, well, looking for anything interesting, but beyond that, I'm not really focused on trying to spot them, because I think if they want me to see them, I'll see them. What is the crazy inside joke about the Catskills? I never got it, seriously. My technique varies with what it may be that I'm attempting to accomplish. On your visitors, but I enjoy what I've seen so far. Sasquatch Wizard and Iron Decks, what do you intend to accomplish this evening? Says it's just the experience, and I love the woods, and I can't hunt year round. So this allows for my natural he's got a channel. Bone says Brandy and Judy are the Sanderson sisters. Yeah. I'm about to see the sun go down behind the horizon again tonight. Every night. Unless there's clouds, I see it. It goes right. It goes right down. It's crazy. They keep telling me it doesn't. It shrinks into the distance. Oh, Judy's got some kisses for Bones. Yep. Yep. So some of you haven't seen even Matrix 2 and 3, huh? Well, yeah, depending on who you ask is whether or not that you missed anything. I think they were reasonably decent movies. Randy says, right, Wizard, I go with no agenda most times. Sometimes I have specific things I want to check on, but for the most part, I just go act silly. It's peaceful for me. Sasquatch Wizard says, Mr. Lee, tonight I will have thermal digital recorders, slow walk, listen, and welcome contact. This is the simple version. Kisses for all from Judy. Wizard says, Mr. Lee, I'm not supposed to say, but I say I do, but to say you do, got a channel? Why aren't you supposed to say that? Yeah, if you got a channel, you can say, here, are you worried about it because you're in my chat? You can say you got a channel all day long. Go for it. Go for it. Bone says, I seen them all. You did? Yeah. Yeah, some people say they didn't even know there was a second and third one. Mr. Lee says, Wizard, I just subscribed to your channel. We'll check it out. Randy says, Bones, oh, Zachariah Zachary Binks. Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Wizard says, looking for tracks tonight will be important and also have a cliff to scan. YouTube flags you, don't they? Flags me for what? I don't understand. If you mention your channel in my chat, YouTube will flag you or flag me. YouTube done took down one of my videos as it is, so I'm pushing back all the time, you know. So it's I'm all about standing up to YouTube's ridiculously stupid rules, and so you say whatever you want about your channel or here I'll pull it up. Shit, I'm not even. Why am I not subscribed? That's crazy. Subscribe to about everybody. Here, I'll fix this right now. But YouTube. Now, well, you can't you can't do anything like, bam, post a link in chat, unless you're like a mod of that channel. YouTube won't let you post a link, and I don't do mods, but I just posted your link, so YouTube be damned. Brandy, very cool. Be careful. Spread the truth, hon. Right on. Somebody locks me in a huge oven, there will be hell to pay. Who's going to lock you in an oven? Yeah, it's okay. It won't that flag me? I don't know why it would. Why would it flag you? I don't understand why that would be. Like, I know that if you try to post a link in chat, it won't post. It'll look like it did to you, unless you look at the chat from another account, and then you'll see that they shadow banned the link. But I don't know. I don't know why that would be an issue, even mentioning another channel in the chat. I don't know. I mention other channels all the time. Icons here says hello. Welcome to the chat icon. Brandy, Judy says, Brandy, glad we're friends on Facebook. Sup. Yeah, there's the link to Sasquatch Wizard and Irondax. YouTube, kiss my ass if you don't like it. There it is. Icon says, my channel would bore you to death, bro. Well, you know, some people don't have a lot of vids or whatnot. That's okay. Sasquatch Wizard and Irondax. I meant, won't YouTube flag me if I say I have a channel? I don't know. And okay, that really cool to know. So yes, I do have a channel. It's Sasquatch Wizard and Irondax. Thanks, Lockbeard. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. YouTube unsubscribe me from your channel. Yes, did it really? I know they do that sometimes. I haven't caught them doing it like to my subscriptions, at least not that I noticed. But I have so many subscriptions, it's really hard to. I can't keep track, you know. And it ain't like they send you a notification. They don't send you, oh, we unsubscribed you from these channels. But they're up to something. I don't know why they do this stuff. Like, I don't get it. It's YouTube's dumb. Brandy says that's from the movie Hocus Pocus, Lockbeard. Yeah. Hocus Pocus. SWA, I share so much and they don't care. Yeah. How dare they? I'm not smart enough to post the link. Well, I don't know if have we ever posted your link here, Danny? Love that movie, Brandy. No, you like hackers. I'm gonna fall behind in chat if I don't. Bam, bam, bam. As queen of the chat, you can talk about your channel if you want to, Danny. Go ahead, man. I do not care. As queen of the chat, I feel I should have a wrench. Just saying, I won't buck anyone. Mr. Lee says, Brandy right. Oh, shit, man. Trying to strong arm me now. Sasquatch Wizard and Ardex says, thank you, Lockbeard, and thank you all for your ideas and support. I'm headed in. Wish me luck and hope you all have a great weekend. You too. You too. Hopefully you find that really good evidence out there. Mr. Lee, checked out your channel? Good luck and have fun, Wizard. Brandy says, good luck, man. Yep. Just no. Just now, I think you mean. Just now. Time is at 6:46. We still got some time. Yep. Yeah, I guess I need to go through and like check because they do unsubscribe people and it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Danny says, if someone exceeds their subs limit, YouTube unsubs the overflow. Different limits for different people based on the number of subs. That's insane, because what if you're someone like used to, I didn't have hardly any subs because I didn't have any content. I had a few for some reason, but I, sub to tons and tons of channels, which, can't possibly watch all that, but it gives me that, anytime I log in, there's something on the screen that I would be interested in, that's on, but hopefully live, but it doesn't have to be, but yeah, that's crazy. They shouldn't. If you sub to someone, how the hell where they get off unsubbing people if you specifically sub to them because you want to see their stuff? Icon says, Mr. Lee, if you see something worth watching, enjoy. I do the typing and the tractors do the talking. Then there's the tractor and equipment sales video. So it's like, I didn't know you had content, Icon. So it's your tractor channel. Yeah, I never heard of that, Danny, that they limit. So I don't know. That just hasn't been. I didn't think there was a limit because because on my other, it's the same account, but it's a separate channel. So it has the bulk of my subs are on the channel I was using primarily for years. And I'm trying to keep this channel focused on the paranormal subjects as far as my subs go. So if I want to see suggested videos in line with other subjects, I jump over on the other account. Although I'm getting where I do that less and less now, and so and obviously I haven't subbed to every paranormal channel out there. I've subbed to quite a few. So, I mean, if YouTube's afraid, I don't know what they're afraid of. Like, I'm subbed to all these channels. Yes, I can't possibly watch all of them. There's no way. But I don't understand why they have a rule like that. I mean, maybe they think they're trying to stop bots. But I don't know. Huh. Yeah, YouTube's shenanigans. They were also on sub channels for lack of activity, like not clicking on their channel for 3 months. Well, so, I mean, where do they get off? Like if I don't feel like watching Ken's channel for 3 months, are they going to unsub me to Ken? I mean, that really doesn't happen. I mean, it's like one of the that channel is one of my top favorite channels. So, but I mean, what if I don't feel like diving into field theory for a few months? Just not feeling it. I don't know. That's crazy. YouTube's just needs to leave people's subs alone. Yes, Danny, someone else was saying that as well. Like on the Tractor channel, it's actually doing pretty good, surprisingly. Well, hey, there's people interested in tractors out there. Tractors are kind of cool. Judy said, just try the channel and see what happens. So you talk about Mr. Lee says, some of the channels I'm sub to, I can't leave comments on. They just won't post. Yeah, I've had that problem sometimes. Like, I'm shadow banned in certain ways and on certain channels. I can't watch. If I go to a live on Ken's channel and I can't talk in chat for some reason. YouTube won't let me talk in chat. He hasn't banned me in chat. It's YouTube. For whatever reason, YouTube does not want Lockbeard talking to people in Theoria Apophysis chat. I have to log in. I have to switch over to my other channel, and I can comment from that channel, even though both channels are on the same account. I don't get it. I don't understand what the deal is here. It's crazy. I have 4 channels. Danny's World has 24K subs, and they don't sub me from nobody on that one. So the key is to get a lot of subs, so leave your subs alone. You have 4 channels? Huh. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, apparently it's not in my got 24.8. Bam. We'll fix that right now. And we'll throw that link in chat for good measure. YouTube be damned. Mr. Lee, try my channel. Randy says, there are channels I don't watch. I mute notifications, but I still sub if I feel they deserve it. I just don't have time to watch every single channel. Yeah, it's impossible, you know. Um, um, but, you know, it's kind of like some channels I might, you know, forget about them for a year, and then maybe, you know, if I'm, you know, I'll go through my channels I'm sub to every so often, and I'll say, you know, I haven't watched one from that channel yet. I'm gonna go see what's going on over there. Well, if they take my subs out, then how much, you know, I lose. You know, now I have to actually think about that channel in particular. Maybe I'm not thinking about. That's why I need my subs list. So, you know, maybe it's not on my mind. You know, it's, or I'm forgetting a name or something. You know, my subs list are channels that I want a list of them so that I can refer back to it later and, you know, find something I feel like watching. And if they're deleting some of my subs, they're messing up my program. Danny says YouTube fears the beard of knowledge. They should. Brandy says, yep, you spread too much truth and might possibly make people start to question things they don't want anyone questioning, therefore ban. Yeah, I'm probably on track for a ban, I'm sure. Yeah, there's Danny's World link in chat. Well, Mr. Lee, we might not be here when you get back. I'm getting ready to shut her down. Sasquatch Speaks is coming on in a few minutes, so throw up your pirate flags if you feel like it. And let's do the Lockbeard raid that. And then an hour from then, Squatch Talk comes on, so, you know, it's time to get squatchy tonight. I can't believe I just used that word. Icon says, okay, I guess you're right about the tractors. I just found my analytics page. There have been 292,000 views, most since I started posting more December 28th. Yeah. You gotta get stuff posted, you know, to really get things going. You know, a lot of people like to see regular content, and you know, if they like it, they're gonna want to come back tomorrow and see it. You know, see some more. And if it's not there, then they get off somewhere else, and you know, they might not be back, at least not for a while. So yeah, the more you throw up there, you know, the better. Brandy says, but I'll go sub from my channel and this personal account to help people on my channel. I leave the notifications muted so I don't miss comments on my own videos. Yeah. Danny says, Danny's World is just shorts, mostly cryptids. Danny, the Daily Dan blog where I do investigations, mostly Danny Dan's good stuff, my favorite movies and TV stuff. And this one, Danny Stanton, which Danny Stanton, I saw some content on there. Some of it looked cryptidish. Brandy says, I will take time, run through my subs list, and check in on people, watch a few vids, leave comments. I try to show my support all around. Yeah. It's so hard because there's a lot of good channels out there, and there's just not that much time. You know, I can't watch everything. And some channels, like if I'm not there live or it's something they posted, like they just uploaded it, it wasn't live, I'll watch on a higher speed, you know, up to 2x speed sometimes, depending on how slow they talk, to save time, you know, because there's, you know, we got a limited amount of time in this world. Brandy says, I just want to make enough subs so I can use our community tab. I want to post pics. Yeah. How many subs you got to have to do that? Is that 1,000 subs? I don't know how much I would do that myself, but I think because in 1,000 subs, like where monetization occurs, and I mean, why is community tab withheld until you get a certain number of subs? I don't understand why they would have that kind of limitation. It's just sometimes some of YouTube's rules are just so freaking, they don't make any sense. Well, it's 7 o'clock, y'all. So I have started doing it. Lockbeard, thanks for the tip. Cool. You're welcome. It's a pisser. I can't just click on somebody's picture in the live chat and go to their site. Think that feature has been shut off for a couple years now. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to. Yeah, stupid YouTube. Leave it 1,000. Well, okay, everyone. I'm going to wrap her up. Head over to Sasquatch Speaks. So I'll see y'all there. And, I don't know if I'm feeling the energy. I might even do a random live tonight after Squatch Talk, but I'm not making any promises. So thanks for coming. See you all later.